Hey, this session's now recording. My name's Gemma O'Donoghue, and we have with us today Naomi Irving. So I am the International Student Careers Consultant, and Naomi is the International Alumni Manager. So welcome everybody today to the first of our careers panels for this cohort. We're going to run these regularly now, so they'll always be under the International Student Careers Series event type on My Career. We welcome three panel members today who have recently graduated, either 2023 or 2024, and they're going to tell us all about their jobs, what's going on, how they've applied what they've learned in their masters, and answer any questions that you might have. So this session is being recorded. If you don't want to be on the recording, just wait till I stop it, and then there'll be time to speak afterwards. Right, so let's start. I think we'll start with Ashish. So Ashish, if you take yourself off mute, and if you would like to introduce yourself and what your program was and what your new job is.
So myself, Ashish. Um, I did my undergraduation in economics from India, took a year gap, changed my career, came to the UK, did my master's in data and digital analytics from University of Southampton. Worked with a renowned UK company called Rock as a part of my Chromsys project, and currently working with Kingfisher with their data team.
Yeah, brilliant. So you did your program did an industry-led dissertation,
Yeah.
didn't you? Yeah. Okay. So tell us all about your new job and how you found the recruitment process and how you got the job, because I know you applied for lots and lots of jobs before you got this one, didn't you?
Yep, it took me about a year to get my first job and over 2,000 applications with a 40% response rate. Shortlisted for around 10 to 15 jobs. Got to the final round for 5 jobs. Got offer letter for 1 job. And about my job, to understand more about my job, you should understand about my company. My company basically, if you know about B&Q and Screwfix, those companies, my company is the parent company of that company. So in my job, I mainly deal with our own exclusive brand. So that's basically the brands which we produce by ourselves. So my responsibility is to make sure that we collect the data for these products from the producers and validate it, upload it to a system, make sure that it reaches the our subsidiaries. We have around 25 subsidiaries, and my company working is mainly more traditionally focused. We mainly deal with Excel sheets. There are a lot of opportunities for automation, but due to the variables in uh, our job, it's pretty difficult for us to do. And my current job is a contractual job. For your information, it's really easy to get into a contractual job because the assessment process and the recruitment process is pretty short and easy. So my process had 2 interviews. First interview was to get to know each other. They told me about what the job is, and I had to introduce myself to them. The second one was more of a non-technical interview where they made sure that my values align with that of company, and they also asked some questions regarding my soft skills. Yep, that's how I got my job.
And did you, with the successful job offer, what do you think
Mhm.
was different with that one compared to the unsuccessful applications?
So when I was applying for a job during that time, the UK job market was very saturated. It was so difficult to find a job. So that's why I started applying for contractor job, which is far easier. So for me, these interviews felt more easier and more easy to crack rather than the other graduate scheme jobs or full-time jobs. Sorry, not full-time, permanent jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's less risk for the employer. So if
Yep,
they hire you and you're not very good, it doesn't matter because the contract will end. Where with a
yep,
permanent job in the UK, permanent is very permanent. It's difficult to end a permanent contract, very difficult for an employer.
yeah,
So um, you can understand, can't you, why they're a bit more easy to offer a contract role.
yeah. And the compensation is also pretty good for the contractual jobs.
Yes, yes. So how much do you use what you learn in your data and decision analytics course in your day-to-day job?
That's a really interesting question because as a fresher, it is really difficult to find a job in which you have graduated. And for me, it's 90% of a project management role rather than a data analyst role, even
Hmm.
though my title is called Product Data Description Acquisition Specialist. The data is there just there for the sake of it. So basically it's more of a project management, managing stakeholder expectation, communication, which are essential skill for a data analyst, which in future I hope to move to that career.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, thank
and
you.
yeah,
So we have had a couple of questions for you, which I'll go on to at the end. So
sure.
if we go down the panel, then we'll come back round and go to questions.
Mhm.
Thanks, Ashish. That was really insightful, and it's great to hear about the contract opportunities that are out there. Okay, Manvi, tell us then first of all, what you studied and when you graduated.
So I'm more of a recent graduate, so I just got done with my master's degree. I did MSc Marketing Management, and I just got done with my course in September. And currently, I am working at Simply Jaspers, which is a pet food company, as a marketing and strategy manager. So that's a little bit um, about basically kind of who I am. I've been around the place. I'm from India, but I've been in the US for many years. Then I came to the UK to study my master's. So I'm just all over the place.
So you've been already around the world.
Yeah.
Did you have previous work experience in the US?
No, so I actually did my studies till the 12th over there. Then I was back in India for my undergrad. So I studied business administration with a specialization in marketing. And then I chose to do my master's in the UK. So I've,
Ah, yeah.
yeah,
I see. So tell us the story about how you got the job, because I know a little bit about it. You went down the different route, didn't you, to Ashish?
yeah, yeah, I did. Yeah, so I think before I kind of explain that, would have to say that when I was in the US, I did a lot of extracurricular activities as part of my
Okay, I think Manby's frozen for, is she frozen for you? Okay, let's move.
Yeah.
Okay, Manvi, we're going to move on for a minute and come back to you. Um, Anish, do you want to start telling us about your job?
Yeah, sure. So, hi everyone. I'm Anish Philip. I completed my master's in business analytics last year, last September, and I got my job. I started my job in the month of March. I previously I was a product manager for India's largest telecom company, which is Reliance Jio, looking at their e-commerce mobile application, which was GeoMart. So I was there from the beginning of the application's emergence into the market. Um, that was in India. Here I am currently working for BT Group, which is ironically the UK's largest telecom company. And I work as a product. I started off as a product operations manager, but things because of new reorganization and all, I am currently doing that role along with being a product owner of one of the products that we have at BT Group. So yeah, I did masters in business analytics, but my career is into product management and all.
Ah,
That is a little
yeah,
shift,
so you
but
slightly different. Manvi,
yeah.
sorry, we just went on to Anish. We'll come back to you because you froze. So yeah, Anish, so tell us about the process then to how you got your job and what happened. Tell us the story.
I'll start from the beginning. I mean, initially I was very confident. I would say a little too overconfident for my job role. And although I applied initially for a few companies, my first interview was from Amazon. And being too overconfident, I just missed that opportunity, if I'm being very honest. Uh, Something I regret about, but it's a learning curve, I guess. And that is how I take it. That just brought me down. But after that, I understood, okay, things have to be put into place. I need to be calm and collected and be confident, but not overconfident. So, like Ashish, even I applied to over 2,000 job applications. Easy apply, whatnot. You just tell it I was there. All the job application process and all. And yeah, Ashish at least has that number of having 40% retrieve. Uh, what do you response
Response.
rate.
Was it
Uh,
40% response? Yeah.
yeah, that is what Ashish said, and correct me if I'm wrong. But for me, it was a lot lower, I would say. I had one interviews per week, but it was to get it converted was a little tough for me, if I'm being honest. Eventually, I understood my resumes were getting shortlisted, so I understood that is not where I need to focus. My interviews are some things that I need to focus on. I need to go step by step. And so, yeah, interviews, I started getting to the next level and all. Finally, I would say I was in for two interviews. I went to the last round, out of which one I got selected for, and that is what I'm doing as of now in BT Group. But yeah, I would say if the students who are currently studying, please start looking for jobs right now. Please, what do you call it? Tailor your resumes. And yeah, Southampton University has their own career portals as well, where you can ask for help on how to better your resume, even get mock interviews. I mean, personally, I didn't take any mock interviews session, if I'm being honest, but Gemma, she helped me in some of my resume writings and all. But yeah, mostly I took help from the career portal. They were quite helpful, if I'm being really honest. So yeah, for BT Group, I had one telephonic call just to see what my visa status is, what my salary expectations are, and many other things. That was the first call. Second call was with the hiring manager, and third was with her senior manager. And yeah, it was quite smooth process. Within like about 2 weeks, the whole process was about 2 weeks, maximum 3 weeks. I started off on 29th of Jan. I remember the date. 29th of Jan, I started it. 11th of Feb, I got my offer letter. And yeah, that's how things went quite smoothly and quite fast. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's how it
Was
is.
is it a permanent job that
Yes,
you're in?
it's a permanent job.
And are the are they sponsoring your visa?
Not as of now, because when I was giving my interview, I applied for my post-study work visa, because of which I will be continuing my post-study work visa, and then after that they'll be sponsoring me.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can understand, can't you, if you imagine that you're an employer, it's a very big ask to
Yes,
commit to sponsor somebody that you don't really know and you don't know
right.
how they work. So you can understand why we can see now employers are starting to offer people contracts first and take people on the PSW first to see how you work, which
Correct.
is just like a probation period, which all, UK national employees will have. And then they sponsor once they get to know you and your work style. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, there are some tips and tricks that we learned while applying for the job role. Is that uh, maybe apply for your post-study work visa and tell the employer that you have a visa that can allow you to work for 2 years. That would give that's like a buffer time that gives them to understand if you are really worth sponsoring or not.
Yeah.
That is something that we have understood, like me and my group of friends, what we have understood. But this is something I mean, others in the call, even they can use.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you. Right, let's go back to Manvi and then we'll come back to questions for everybody.
Yeah, sorry
Where
about
did we
that.
get to? That's all right. Where did we get to? We were
I
talking about your you were
think the
talking about
recruitment
in the
process of
US,
it.
weren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I was just saying that when I was in the US, along with my studies, I always did extracurriculars. So that's something
Yes.
that I wanted to do, um, when I came here as well. So before I arrived at the university, I think I probably searched the website 1,000 times to see what the university offers, what programs, what things I can join, what things might interest me. And then when I came to the university, I figured out that there was a program. It's a really incredible opportunity. It's called Student Innovation Project, which is essentially a 4-week project that you do where you act as a consultant for a company and they have kind of a case study or like a problem. It's a real company. It's a real problem that they're facing. So you and a group of people get 4 weeks to come up with solutions for that problem, and then present that, write a report on that, and then present that on Monday in front of these in this company. So I did a student innovation project in December, and then I liked it a lot. So then I did it again in February, which was of Simply Jaspers, which is where I'm currently working. And yeah, I really liked what the company kind of stood for, and they're the owners of the company, the people that work there, they're really passionate about it. And when you have that energy, you also reciprocate that same energy back to them. So I worked a lot on the marketing problems that they had, what they wanted to do, and I came up with some stuff along with my group. And I think after the presentation, they reached out to me saying that we really liked your passion and we really liked all the things that you had to come up with. So, would you be okay to work kind of part-time with us right now? Just see like if there's anything that you can help with. So I started working with them on a part-time basis, and eventually I think around June or July, when they found out that I'm still kind of applying for jobs and things like that, they offered me a full-time role within their company, which is how I ended up getting the role. Yeah.
That's excellent. I think at one point I'd spoken to your employer when they were really keen on you and
Yeah.
they wanted to ask some questions about visas.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
gave them some information because I think that demonstrates how a lot of smaller companies in the UK don't really understand the visas, do they?
Yeah.
They just don't know. I mean, yeah. So
Exactly.
yeah, so that I mean that the opportunity you've got now would never have been advertised as a visa sponsorship opportunity. It was created by
Mm-hmm.
you. And this is
Mm-hmm.
what we mean when we say, it's not about just looking for advertised vacancies, it's about trying to create these opportunities because that's mostly how they will arise, sponsorship opportunities. They will be created where there's a need
Mm-hmm.
or a demand and they needed your skills and they got to see clearly that you were the best candidate through
Wow.
you putting yourself in front of them through the innovation project. Um, there's many opportunities at the university to get involved with things like the innovation projects and lots of
Yeah.
other things. And did you do an internship through the UOS or was that just a contract with the company?
Yeah, I also had this thing in my mind that I wanted to, like I said, like I wanted to do a lot of things. So I ended up doing 3 internships over the course of my year. So I did an internship with the Hunger Project, which was my first US internship. And then I started another internship, which was like it was more short term. It was a 6-hour internship, which was with the National Center for Research Methods. And then after that, the most recent internship I did before I started this role was at Touch Network, which was my second UOS internship. And I just essentially I was working in the marketing of all of these, and I just wanted to understand because from my background, since I've been to so many different countries and experiences, want to understand what the UK market is like and what marketing means over here. Does it mean something else here? And that's why I just wanted to be involved in as many opportunities, internships as I can. So that was something that I was doing.
Yeah, you've been very busy then. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the key is
Very.
just lots of stuff. Doing stuff will open
Yeah.
opportunities, won't it? But you have to manage your
Hmm.
time, don't you? I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. It's difficult.
Yeah, we have a question about that actually. So let's go to, I think I'll go back to the beginning of the questions now. So we have one
Yeah.
for Ashish. Um, so Ashish, somebody is saying that they are a current data and decision analytics student. Does your current job role include the modules that you studied, like statistical techniques and stochastic methods? Can you tell us a bit more about the roles that you targeted and the focus area that you applied for? Oh, you've gone a bit quiet. And I just realised that's 3 questions in one, sorry.
Okay.
The first
Hello.
question, does the current job role include your modules? We did touch on that, didn't we?
Yeah, so my current job role is more of a project management, as I explained.
Yeah.
Mm, what he asked. Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
so you don't use statistical techniques yet in your role?
No, we are more focused on collection of data. So it's more of collection and validation.
Yeah.
Mm, And for the third question, that's a big interesting one. Where did I focus
Yeah.
on? I focused on more of an analytical role or a role that has data in it because my mindset was if I get into a role that has some relationship with data, in future I can move towards a more data focused job.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
to uh, mostly my job hunt platform was Indeed and LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And I really recommend taking LinkedIn Premium because that LinkedIn Premium has an integrated AI with it. So it
Mm-hmm.
can help you to gauge which job is perfect for you. They will give you a percentage of job match and
Okay.
similar
So
things.
you rate LinkedIn Premium, you think it was worth the
Yeah,
money?
it's worth the money for sure.
Okay. That's good to hear feedback from people that have used it.
So you can understand which job to apply to. And it also helps you to write cold emails and messages. And
Mm.
most of my interview calls were from cold messages through LinkedIn, finding
Mm-hmm.
recruiters and just message them.
Yeah.
And also, again, ChatGPT, the premium version plus, that really helps me to tailor my CVs, create the supporting documents for NHS jobs, really helped me to create all of those.
Mm.
So while using ChatGPT, I just want to mention that please don't ask ChatGPT to generate your content. Do a brain dump to ChatGPT, whatever you want to explain, and ChatGPT can reformat you the stuff you want and create a flow to whatever you want to see. And again, another thing that you can do is LinkedIn optimization, which is basically have a good profile picture, have a good banner, have a good about me section. And you can Google it, you can use a YouTube video. There are so many YouTube videos which can help you to optimize your LinkedIn profiles. So please go for that. And I also saw a question where someone has asked, how did I manage to apply for 2000 jobs?
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's another
Yeah.
question. Yeah. How did you manage your time to apply? Well, I think you were using Quick Apply and Chat GPT, weren't you? So that's the answer.
Again, out of these 2000 jobs, almost 50% are like just for the sake of my background. So while having a job, if a person before me, I'll get a guilty feeling for it. So I tend to apply for easy apply jobs, which is not worth it. No one is going to check that. It's for the sake of application and to track your applications. What I did was I created a separate email address so that I can track all my applications because of the quantity of the applications that I made. And another thing that really helped me is doing personal projects. So if you want to get into a job and you find that one of the skill is missing from your profile, you can actually develop that skill by doing a personal project and showcasing that on your CV. And for to expedite the application process, you can use some extensions in Google, which will automatically populate the redundant questions like email address, your name, or else you can just open a Word document, write all the redundant questions over there, and when you are applying on a for a job, just copy paste the stuff. That will expedite the process. And mm, another more another the most important thing that I want to say is that in your CV, try to show the evidence of your achievement. So if you are doing some project, link that project on your CV. You can use GitHub for that. If you have a coding experience, I would recommend you to create a website. A ready-made version of a website is available on GitHub. You can just amend it as per your choice and use that. That is really helpful when you are going for networking events. So all your counterparts are using a normal CV where you can just showcase your skills by showing off a website instead of a CV. Yeah.
That's a good tip. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, let's see what other questions we've got for other people. Someone's got a question for Manvi, but I think you've partly answered this. So asking you about how the Student Innovation Project helped you. Well, I guess it was directly with the employer, wasn't it?
Yeah, and actually another thing is that since I did two, so the first one that I did, it was just to see what a student innovation project is, and not really, I didn't really focus much on what the outcome or what the project is trying to achieve. But when I did the second one, I wanted to do one that was based on my field. So if it was something to do with marketing, then I only applied for the ones that were more closely related to what I wanted to do. So I think that's one thing. As you figure out things or whatever opportunities that you are, coming across, see, just like you have to tailor your CV, I mean, tailor yourself also to that opportunity. Make sure that you are also prioritizing what you want, because I realized that when you really like the thing you're doing, it has a great outcome. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great advice. Thank you. I wanted to ask Anish, so if you were going to go back and apply for these thousands of jobs again, would you do anything differently now, do you think?
Maybe, I guess. But it's a lot of tailoring that I do. So the thing is, what I started off initially is just putting in points in my resume. But that is not something you should do. Um, in case of an experienced candidate over here, what I can share is that create a Word document telling that if you have worked in so and so company, what you have done from the very beginning, start to end, taking up Scrum calls, just changing some code or doing anything. Every small bit and details, whatever you did in your previous job, just note it down in your in that Word file. And if you're looking for any job in LinkedIn or wherever, you know, and if some points match, you just need to copy and paste it. That's how you do it. Because in my experience, what I've noticed is that sometimes I just forget that, oh, this point was also is something that I could have put in my resume, but I don't really put. And I've missed a lot of job opportunities in that case. And that is something that I would change a lot. I don't know, create a Word document. Actually, I'm doing right now. I'm sitting and applying for more jobs just I mean, there's nothing there for me to lose as of now. So I'm just putting in job applications to see where I stand in the market after like 9 months or so. But yeah, what strategy I use is create a Word document, write whatever points I know, whatever I've done before, certifications, whatnot, and it's just a matter of copy and pasting it within my resume, tweaking it a little bit, finding the keywords, using ChatGPT and all, and just a matter of, I mean, just pasting it and submitting it in the job portal. But yeah, one more thing that I would also like to add is also try to, which I didn't do and right now I'm doing, is making cover letter. A cover letter is something that is a little different, but also shows how much you align with the company's values and culture. And that is something, one of my friend, he is very much into this culture and values of the organization. And that is these points are something that you can emphasize in your cover letter, how you align to those values. uh, that is something that I would put in my job search as of now. uh, but yeah, one thing that I didn't do during my job search is that uh, I didn't apply for contract jobs, and I didn't apply for NHS or university jobs. Although although no, it's like those organizations. There is no ATS system in those job portals. It's just Q&As, and if you get the Q&A perfect, that's it. Most of the private company, they have the ATS system, so the rejection rate is quite high over there. So that is something I would maybe shift into. I don't know. But yeah, my this is my new strategy as of now. Just noting on what things I do, put it in my resume, make cover letters, and yeah, bang on. Then let's see what happens from there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to change your strategy. Um, I think Ashish, I remember we did some NHS applications, didn't we? So yeah, they're
Yeah,
completely different, aren't they? You have to write the big statement, and you can get to
yeah,
the point where you know how to do them and you know how to get an interview. Um, they're completely different to CVs, but these organisations do sponsor a lot of visas, so it's good to include them in your search, like universities, NHS, even councils.
to be honest, NH is a goldmine for jobs because the after creating your first application, you can actually save your application and just copy paste the whole thing to the next application.
Mm.
The only thing you have to change is the supporting document, which is used to grade your performance, grade your application. And if you get rejected, you can actually ring up the people and they will give you a review of your supporting document, which is really helpful.
Yeah, and there's always with these, there's always a human at the end reading them,
Yeah.
and scoring them. It's a completely different process. So, and it is really useful to look at these industries, and they are different. The international workshop series that I run, number 5 is on these applications. If anybody
Mhm.
needs help, either come to that or just come to the careers service. There's lots of support you can get with these because they do take a long time, especially at first. Um, Okay, so I have another question here for Manvi. So I am a marketing management student too. I've been working in the field of content creation for a while now. Do you think we should diversify our CV? Um, so all my experiences related to marketing, but do you think I should diversify? What do you think, Manvi?
I think that when it comes to work experience, it's good to have a little bit diversification in terms of marketing field itself. So, for example, within marketing, I have done social media, I've done content writing, I've done market research. So, just for because entry level jobs, you usually don't have one specific things that you do. You do a lot of things. So, employers like to see that you know a lot of things, not just one specific thing. So it does help to diversify in that way. And yeah, like I mentioned, if you can join any extracurriculars and anything that you might be interested in within the university, it also gives employers a chance to see that you can multitask, you can handle multiple things. For example, I was so since I have this more kind of international look towards things, I joined the global lounge, which is kind of a society that our university offers, and I was the president of the global lounge in that last year. So I helped organize events for international students, and I helped kind of bring different cultures together and do all those things. So I think that was another kind of factor that it stands out in your CV. It always does when you do things beyond just the one thing that you're good at. Always try to go outside of your comfort zone and do things that you want to do, but you might be a little bit scared to do. So yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's good to have that sort of enrichment, isn't it? Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would say when you're targeting a professional sector, or not sector, sorry, a professional specialism, it is good to say what you are and know what you are. So Manvi, you said diversify within marketing, but I think that's important point is within marketing. So if you're a marketing professional, you need a clear identity as a marketing professional, because if you send a CV out to market that says I could do project management, I could do data analytics, or I could do marketing, people will just get very confused and they won't know what to do with you. Recruiters are looking for they're looking for this person, aren't they? Would you agree? They're looking for a marketing person, so that's what they
Yeah,
want. So
exactly.
I think you do get better response when you've got an identity. But yeah, doing the diversifying across that profession is really good, because small companies want someone that can do everything as well, don't they? And that's where the opportunities are often for the contracts initially. Do we have another question? Anybody have any more questions? There's one just being typed here. So Anish, did you say you're applying for some other roles at the moment? Is this for progression?
Yeah, something like that. I
You
mean,
want to,
it's just like, I mean, for me, currently, I'm not sponsored. So, although I've had initial conversations with my manager about sponsorship and all, there was a small hike that I had gotten in the month of May, and that's when it was a happy situation. So I was like, might as well, I mean, push a button to see if I can get sponsored or not. But
yeah,
yeah, as of now, yes, I'm looking for other areas to work for as well, because I have worked in a telecom industry for about 4 years now, I guess, and maybe I would like to get into some other industry, but it's upon my fate. If I get it, I get it. If not, then that's fine. But yes, I am applying for other jobs just to improve, just to explore other industries, not to have just one industry knowledge. Maybe diversify, like Mani
yeah.
said, diversify my industrial knowledge and be at the top of the things. I mean, that's my aim. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, no, that's very good. I have got a contact we've recently made actually with a management consultancy that specialises in placing international candidates. So I'll put the contact for that into this chat. If anyone's got any sort of work experience and they're just looking slightly beyond the graduate entry level market, this consultancy can work with placing people. So I'll put a contact in this chat. So someone else has another question. Okay. How did you get the marketing practice-based dissertation? Is that question for Manvi? Did you have a practice-based dissertation?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that process then.
So the process for that was that I think next semester, so around it should be around February or March, you'll get an option to pick between traditional or marketing practice-based dissertation. And essentially what there is to that is that there's going to be an application that'll come out where they'll ask you questions, just basic questions about yourself. You have to attach your CV. And along with that, you have to attach a video of yourself. I think it's 1 minute video of yourself explaining why you think you are suited to do the marketing practice-based dissertation. And once you get through that, then they have kind of a group interview round where everyone who's selected after that round comes together, and you have to do a lot of activities in parts of groups, and then the professors who are leading that dissertation then will have like a quick 5 to 10 minute personal interview with every candidate to determine who's the best. And after that, you get selected, and you get to choose which company you want to kind of do the dissertation for. You'll have a session where you will get to meet all the companies and what they want to achieve with the dissertation. So it's a very well guided kind of dissertation. So you won't, as soon as you get to the stage where you have to pick between the two, you'll understand what to do after that.
Yeah, that's it. I think so the person that asked that question is as long as your program has this option, there's not really much you can do if it doesn't, and not all programs do. So Ashish's program had it, and it is, if you do a program that has the option for industry-based dissertations, you can apply. It's not guaranteed, you can apply, can't you? But they're great opportunities if you can get them. They're very challenging, aren't they? It's very tough doing a dissertation where you're taking the lead from an employer. I think Ashish,
It's
yours was
difficult.
challenging, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's difficult to get into because you should have a grade. I mean, it's depending on your grade. So there will be an interview, obviously. And the job is going to be challenging. We will be working for a company. It's going to give us the corporate vibes, I would say. We will be taking instructions from the representative of the company. We'll be working with them. For me, it was building a machine learning model, which was really interesting for me. and it was a successful project. And Gemma, if you remember, we did a guest lecture at university after that project.
Yes, you did. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
brilliant. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that was
It was
really
an
good.
amazing experience, and it really helped me to enhance my CV.
Yeah, Anish, did you have a industry dissertation?
No, I did my own thing.
Yeah, it's a lot easy. It's a lot easier to do your own thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it was, I would say my dissertation was based on my previous work experience. It was in that marketing industry thing on how I can market and target a few customers. But I didn't want to get into this like ComSys projects, not because they are bad. They were fantastic, if I'm being very honest. But I wanted a little flexibility in my, doing in my little research and all, because for industry ComSys based projects, there are certain timelines. And I wanted to enjoy that time period. So I just did things on my own. And yeah, so my
Yeah.
own project.
Yeah, it's a personal preference, and there is
Yeah.
pros and cons to both. I think
Yeah,
you'll all
yeah, it is.
agree.
I mean,
You'll all agree.
the pros are is that you have your own flexibility. You can do things on your own timeline. But the con is that you don't get that industrial exposure. That is something. Do I regret? I don't know. But yeah, that is a pro if you do a ComSys project.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They look so good on the CV. You can make them sound amazing.
yeah,
Yeah, they do look good, but they're tough.
and it's also useful during your interviews as well. You can say that you work for UK-based employer, and that just enhances your CV, like you said. Yeah,
Yeah, but you could get, if you're thinking about getting material to talk about in interviews, the student innovation project can do that as well. So anything that you can do whilst you're here, just do it. There's lots of opportunities. So I have an interesting question here from somebody. I think everyone can have an opinion on this. This is like a fundamental careers question. Do you consider your interests when looking for a job, or do you choose what you're good at? Um, that is a very challenging question, and especially I think for international candidates looking at a new job market. I think I'll start the conversation by saying I think you need to work out your priority. So if your priority number one is entering the UK or another foreign job market, you need to consider what opportunities you can access, which would be less what you're really interested in and more what you have the skills and experience in. Whereas if you're going to maybe back home where you don't need to worry about visas, you then would consider more about what you enjoy. Who thinks what about that? Tell me.
should I go or is anyone? I'll start. Yeah. So
Yeah.
in my case, my interests and goals were to create a good product. Uh, in general, maybe in telecom industry or whatnot. That was my main interest because that was a little, what do you call it? Uh, a great feeling, if I'm being very honest, to make a good product for the customers, for the consumers, so that they can enjoy it. And when you go to the market and see people are using your product, it just brings a passion for that kind of role. And that was my main interest why I was looking for e-commerce and telecom industry. That is why I again looked for my specific role, that is product management. Although business analyst, like I said, is something that I did study. I used a little bit of that course elements in my project. I mean, my work. But yeah, my interests were my main priority because I can speak about it. If the industry demands a particular role, maybe probably I might not be able to express myself as much as I can do for my specific role or my goal, which is to make a good product. So yeah, interest is something that I prioritize more.
Yeah, that's excellent. And it's good to hear everyone's different strategies. Ashish, what about you? Oh, we can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me
That's
now?
perfect. Yep.
Okay. but I didn't want any job. I want a job that's related to data. So uh, how how did I know I was good at data? It's mainly because of the industrial led project that I did. I knew that I was really good at coding and I had an analytical thinking how to turn data into actionable insights. So that's what motivated me to pursue for a data analyst job, which I'm still trying to get into.
And Manvi, what about you? What do you think about prioritizing what you enjoy or what you're good at? It sounds like you're doing what you enjoy anyway, but is that just luck?
Yeah, I do think it did come down to luck at that for me. But I think the way that I discovered that I like marketing and I was good at it was just through a lot of different things that I've done. I just know that, I like stories and I like relaying stories to other people. And then I'm like, what career does that? And it's just a lot of process of elimination until I came to the fact that, marketing is the field that I'll be able to do that in. And the great thing about marketing now is that it's so, I mean, I feel like with every field, everything is just so broad. There's not just one avenue you can take. There's so many different paths in one industry or one field. So it always gives you a chance to explore something. So even if I know that tomorrow, if I'm not a huge fan of social media and but I've done diversified experiences in marketing, I can go on to do something else or learn something else. So yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, and most people don't find out what they really enjoy in their career for about 10 years
Yeah,
plus, really, do they? I
takes
mean,
time.
me and
Takes time.
Naomi can tell you that because we're a lot older, so
Mhm,
you often don't know until you just have to get started doing things to
mhm.
find out about yourself. And then
Exactly.
the ideal in careers is that you get that perfect balance between stress, just enough stress, so you're challenged but you're not bored, and that's what they call your strengths, and that's what they call the optimal point, really,
Mhm,
of just having that flow state where time flies by, you're looking forward to going to work, you don't realize the time because you're engrossed in your tasks, and that's the definition of flow, really, when you're in the right job, when you've matched your skills and strengths. Because you don't enjoy everything you're good at, do you? I can do plenty of things that I don't enjoy at work, but that all comes with time. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording now, unless anybody has any questions. I don't think there's any more. Is there anything the panel would like to add before I stop the recording? I will leave time for
So,
afterwards, but
Gemma, do
yeah.
we still have access to the e-careers grad
Yes.
website?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to add on to the interviewing thing. There is a interview course in that website, which is really helpful, which can help you understand what kind of questions an interviewer will ask to you, and which will help you to prepare for interview in a better way.
Yes, thank you. I'm just trying to find the link. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
It's better. See, I tell everyone to watch this video module and they don't listen to me. So it's much better when we have somebody who's an actual graduate saying that they found it useful, because I rave about this. I think it's brilliant. There's nothing really that can prepare you better. I think the best thing is if you watch this video module to give you general preparation and then come to the careers service for a mock interview for a specific interview, um, then that will be the best way to do it. Um, anything else to add?
I think just one thing from my side is that um, as an international student, it's really difficult to, do a lot of things at the same time because you're away from home and, you have your studying, you have your extracurriculars. But I think for masters, especially, you have 1 year. So I just think put your all in, do everything. You can do everything. It's just about priorities, about how you prioritize things. So and just have a good time, honestly. Don't give up your fun and relaxation times. Don't be stressed out about things. Just have fun with what you're doing. I think that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, it should be a great experience, shouldn't it? Studying in a different
Mhm.
country. It should be really enjoyable as well as stressful. Um, okay, right. Anything else to add, or shall I stop now? Okay, I will.
Uh,
Oh, Anish,
just
yeah, let's hear from you.
Just one thing from my side is, yes, like Manvi said, work hard, enjoy things that are there. But I would also like to add is that be consistent in what you're doing. With consistent, I mean applying for jobs if you don't have one, and prioritize things. Like if uh, you have come to this country, to work, to get a job, and study, of course. Prioritize that. But of course, enjoy your university experience as well, because your university timeline is just for 1 year, and you really don't know how that time flies by. After the end of 1 year, you'd be like, oh, I need more time. Just if we had a little more time, we could have enjoyed a little more, something of that sort. But yeah, be consistent, enjoy, work hard, I guess, and yeah, look for things and materials. University has a lot of materials through which you can get a job. Just explore them, go for it. Might as well try something new. You never know what can work in your favor. So yeah, just look around and you'll find your answers.
Yeah, make the most of everything. There's so much here, and come and see us for help if you're in doubt. Just come to the careers service. We've got a massive careers service here, so come and use us. Okay, well, thank you so much. That was an amazing panel and so useful to hear it from people that have actually just got jobs. It's brilliant. Please keep in touch with me and with Naomi. So we work very closely together with alumni and networking. So we'll let you know about any fun events that Naomi's organising, and I'll let you know about any careers events that we're organising. But yeah, if you need support with your next job move, just come and see us. Right, I'm going to stop the recording now. So thank you very much. And this recording will be available if anybody wants it